I ate paper. I just had to eat something, man. Straight up.
You ate paper?
I ate paper.
What paper makes you the fullest?
You gotta put seasonings on it. Adobo. I'll be honest, bro. If you get paper a little bit with some olive oil, you steal some of your neighbor's olive oil or your roommate's olive oil and put some adobo on it, bro. I ain't even lying. It's almost like meat. I swear to God. It's true, bro. That's why I couldn't write jokes. I ate all my paper.
I'm Alexander Payne, one half of Sad Money, and I'm here with
Dominic Leonelli.
Dominic Leonelli. We've known each other a long time. I want to ask you a couple questions about finance. You cool with that?
Yeah, let's go. You might be asking the wrong person, but let's go.
Well, that's what we want. We want the everyman. And Dom, you've had a lot of different types of jobs.
Yes, I have.
Right. So I want to know about this. What's the poorest you've been, and what's the richest you've been, and how did you handle your money or manage your money at those times in your life?
Okay. Poorest I've been was definitely in New York City. Had to be hands down. I was homeless. I had no money, bro. I remember I was waiting. I don't know how I made it. I did something. I walked a dog and made $11 for real. And this is no lie. And I had to hop the turnstile. And I was nervous to hop, actually. I used to walk this dog once a week for $11. And I would walk from the Bronx, bro, not making this up, because I was nervous to hop the turnstile because I thought I had something on my record in New York. I wasn't sure because I fell asleep drunk on the train and I never paid the ticket because I was broke. So anyways, I walked 2 hours from the Bronx to the Upper West Side to walk this dog. And dude, what's crazy? It was Roberta Flack's dog strumming my pain with his fingers in the Dakota, multi-millionaire. I'm walking this dog for $11, dude, straight up. So I do the thing, and I walk all the way back to the Bronx because I did this for a while. I started hopping after a while, but this is definitely the brokest I've ever been. And I went grocery shopping with that $11, and I remember stretching it out so much. Like, you gotta keep in mind, dude, you're talking $11 a week. So before I got this job, I was stealing change from a wish fountain. I'd walk around just looking at change, like on the ground, dude. I was like, it was crazy. Just to eat was like, $15. I remember there was a place in my neighborhood that had ramen noodles for 15 cents. And then there was another place that was right by my house where they were 25 cents. I would walk the 10 blocks at midnight to save the 10 cents. And then they'd be like, oh, dude, it's a quarter. I'd be like, dude, the hell it is. I got it last night, it was 15 cents, for real.
Yeah.
That's how broke I was, man. Stealing my landlord, he had this sausage, and I would steal a little bit all the time for protein. And then one night, he goes, hey, you want some sausage? I was like, yeah, and I'm acting like I never had it. Oh, this is good. What is it? He was like, pig snout, for real. And I would just go stare at meat, like over by the comic strip. We would do late night. Remember?
I remember when I met you.
And the creek in the cave.
Yeah.
You get the free popcorn and stuff. And I would go to comic strip for popcorn and diet soda. And there was a butcher shop. And I would just go stare at the meat, like from like 4 o'clock to like 8 so I can go to the strip. Straight up, man. Just
that's crazy.
That meat in the window.
Yeah.
No lie. And I was like, when I get money, I'm going to come here. I went there when I got paid, and it was so much money for beef jerky. It was like, I'm not doing it. It was like $20.
$20 for beef jerky?
Yeah, straight from the butcher.
Even now, you could probably afford it now, right?
Now, I want to say I'm almost the richest in my life. I'll blow 100 here and there, There was a point in time when I took out a second mortgage for 20 grand, but in reality, that was a one-time hit, like when I was 20, but now I'm the richest I've ever been. When you make money, you blow it. Like, I'm not going to spend $11 for groceries for the week now and budget like that. I remember I'd get a coffee for $1 when I finally could get it, and I waited 3 days for this coffee, and I would sit there and just smell it. And you really smell that coffee because you waited. You wanted coffee for 3 days. Yeah. And you wouldn't eat. You'd be seeing spots from not eating. Like, dude, it was crazy. I ate paper. I just had to eat something, man. Straight up.
You ate paper?
I ate paper.
What paper makes you the fullest?
You gotta put seasonings on it. Adobo. I'll be honest, bro. If you get paper a little bit with some olive oil, you steal some of your neighbor's olive oil or your roommate's olive oil and put some adobo on it, bro. I ain't even lying. It's almost like meat. I swear to God. It's true, bro. That's why I couldn't write jokes. I ate all my paper. They're like, bro, write some jokes.
You're too busy using it as sustenance.
Yeah, bro, that double. All my neighbors, all my landlord, roommate stuff. I'd steal a little bit of their soap, their shampoo, everything, bro. I was dead broke.
We gotta find this meat place because we can get him $20. We can get you the beef jerky. We
I
want to
would
buy
do
it. We
it.
would do it for you. Yeah, tell us where it's at.
Right by Comic Strip. It's the butcher place like 2 blocks from Comic Strip.
Next video. All right. So you're out here. You're taking right now, but we want to know. A lot of people going into debt over dating, and we wanted to know, like, what's your go-to for a first date? Were you dating when you were that broke? Like, how did you do it? How did you make it work?
Nah, I wasn't dating that broke. I didn't have, I couldn't afford face soap. You want me to hold this?
No, I got it.
I didn't have socks. I was like, I wasn't trying to date that. You could tell I was broke. My face would be like broken out from not having face soap or shampoo. Like the last thing, I wore the same pair of pants every day. Like, it was like you couldn't date. I would say if you're in that situation, your best choice is to find those drug addicts at like 2, 3 in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Just talk to them. Don't judge them. Hold them a little bit. There was one girl I met. Her hand was bleeding. She kept shooting dope in her hand. I think that was a girl I almost dated. That I met her on, like, she was a homeless girl, 72nd and Upper West Side. So you got to kind of, you got to know where you're at. I would say with dating, if you're trying to budget, always undersell and over-deliver. That's even what I do now. I mean, I don't have money now, but if you looked at what I make now, I'm calling myself rich. I'm still poverty levels. Like, for New York, I probably make 40 grand a year. I think that's still considered poverty. But now I'm like, heck, this is what I could do. Or get on the food stamps like I used to do, and you get that grocery store sushi, and you dress it up nice at your house. If the girl's not that smart, she won't know any better. You get a girl that's like used to going out, she'll know the rice. That's how they could tell. She'll bite into it and be like, this is from the grocery store, and how thick it is. The real good sushi is real thin.
So where do you find a girl that doesn't know about the sushi? Like, where do you find those girls that don't know the rice?
In Ohio, if they're you get somebody that's from Ohio, you start messing with a girl with one of these tech jobs or a consultant, she's gonna know about the rice. You got to go Mark's grocery store.
Mark's?
That's a good place. Yeah,
Okay.
You can meet a good girl at Mark's grocery store, just ringing people out. If you see her a few days, try to pop in there, see if she wears the same clothes every day. Then this girl's got it a little rough. You gotta plan it out a little when you're broke. That's really the secret. That place, get girls walking dogs. They don't make money. Girls that work at gas stations, that's a good place. You could find
A girl that smells like 91?
Yeah. I met a girl worked at a car wash on 9th Avenue. Nice girl, man. Not judgmental at all. Just happy to have somebody to treat her like a human. And, she was a good girl.
So what are your thoughts on the rent situation? Sometimes these people are holding these apartments, not letting people stay there, and they're making it go up. I mean, what has been your experience with your living situation here in New York and everything?
Rent's done. Don't waste your time. I lived in West Village. I paid the high rent. I was there for a year paying $2,500 a month. You look back, you spend almost $30,000, and they're kicking you out. You're never home but 6 hours. You got a couple options, honestly. New Yorkers are at their apartment, let's be honest, 7 hours a night, really. You want to be out in the city. If you want the cheapest rent, and you could do this, I don't know how you feel about it, McDonald's, bro. People forget 30 minutes every time you buy something. Cookies are 39 cents. So if you do the math, you could live at McDonald's in Times Square for like $15 a day. And then you just, you could sleep there too. You get in cool with the workers and stuff, tell them a sad story, and then you could shower at the Planet Fitness, or you could rent a room. That's also a good one. I would say the cheapest way you could possibly do it, get another girl that's broke, share a room with her on a couples deal, $250 a piece a month. You guys get on food stamps, throw a little bit of bread in the house, good to go.
So when they closed down the McDonald's on West 4th, did that hit you? Did you ever stay there anytime?
That's a bad McDonald's to stay at. The best McDonald's, believe it or not, are the Times Square ones. Those ones, there's so much going on, so many people. If you're just nice to them, they'll always let you stay in the corner. Or you could, even if you got to leave for a couple hours, go buy a coffee at a deli. These deli guys, they get busy. They just don't want to bother with anybody. You spend $1.50 on a little deli coffee. You can probably get it 2 hours out of there. Maybe if you're lucky, they'll give you the Wi-Fi. But my thing is, if you find something out about them, just lie and say, like, I knew this one guy from Poland. I'm like, oh, yeah, my stepmom's Polish. I love pierogies,
Yeah.
And then they'll start to make conversation with you.
What's the worst place you ever lived?
Worst place I ever lived was Burnside Avenue. I let them keep my security deposit. It was, it was crazy. I found the place on Craigslist. I get there, Burnside Avenue, like way up in the Bronx. The bank teller is on a computer screen, right?
Yeah.
You're like, you can't even see the bank teller. And they're like, yeah, because this bank always gets robbed. Then the dude wouldn't give me my money. The bank teller's on the screen like, I don't feel comfortable giving you $1,000 in this neighborhood because I don't want your blood on my hands. I'm like, it's a security deposit. They're like, have them meet you here at the bank. He's like, I really don't want to give you this. I'm like, no, dude, give me the money. So I get the money, give it to my landlord. I'm there. One day I'm there. And next morning, I'm there like 8 hours. Next morning, I'm upstairs cooking breakfast, and he comes running upstairs, the guy, freaking out. He's in his underwear. Girlfriend got a knife on him, right? 10 people lived in this house. We all had door numbers and cupboards, 1 through 10. And she has a knife on him. And she's like, what now? What now? You gonna cheat on me? I sucked everybody's dick in this house. And this dude's looking at me. I'm like, yo, man, I just moved in. Like, I don't even know this girl. And then a dude gets shot. Next day, dude gets shot, killed, shot in the head, for real, not to bring bad stuff. So this is my second day there. And I go up to a cop that's there. I'm like, what happened? He goes, what do you think happened? It's a murder. It's Burnside Avenue. He's like, what are you doing over here? It's a bad part of town. I was like, I just moved in. He's like, yeah, I got my best advice for you is move. Third night, I'm trying to get a bottle of water at Kennedy's Fried Chicken. I'm there in line. This dude's physically fighting the guy, taking chicken. He's behind the counter on some boom gang shit, and he's taking the chicken. And my stupid ass, I'm like, look, here's $1. I just want to get some water. This dude's like, yo, who the fuck you interrupting me when I'm over here trying to talk to this dude? So then the dude goes, he pulls out a knife, and it's a true story. I'm there 3 days. And he puts it up to my neck. He's like, yo, I'm going to kill you, motherfucker. I seen you in my neighborhood. And his friend's like, no, relax. Now, I don't know if they had me confused with somebody else, but this dude that was with them goes outside. He's like, man, chill. Let's go outside. Let's talk. He goes, look, man, whatever it is, he's got something against you. We seen you yesterday walking to the train. Because I was like the only white kid in the whole neighborhood. He's like, we seen you yesterday walking to the train. He goes, this dude's crazy. He's going to stab you. He's like, don't come back here. I left that minute. I never went back. I took my suitcase and left. Let him keep my security. 3 days, man. Gave him $1,000 to stay there 3 days. And then I was sleeping during the day in Bryant Park over that with my suitcase, trying to find another spot.
That's crazy.
And you know what else, man? I lived in a Cube Smart when I was that $11 a day shit. I ended up moving into a Cube Smart in the Bronx, and I would sleep there during the day. And then, that shit ran out, went back home to Ohio, and then that's why I found the place on Craigslist. I washed cars for like a month, saved up like $2,000 to move back to New York. And then that's what happened with Burnside. I was broke again, bro.
I want to ask you this, because you're one of the people I was. Why do black people only have CashApp and not Venmo?
That's a good question. I think because they don't trust the government. I don't know what it is. Like, one thing about black people is they don't trust the government, rightfully so. And they're like, Venmo, you're asking too many questions. You got it. First off, not to sound ignorant, but I don't like Venmo because I got to read. It's like, yo, this isn't for me. Cash App, you don't need to read shit. It's right there. Give me the fucking money. This month, $40, that's all you see. $40. Venmo's more like, here's your email. What's this? Write a story about it. It's like, motherfucker, I can't spell. $40, period. Cash at me.
Oh, man, I just had to ask him that from my own personal reference. I know Don would know. I was like, I've been trying to figure this out. All right.
Do you still think about the $1,000?
Yeah, I still do. And I've made money since then. I tried chasing them down for the money I lost because the third party thing, they're used to it. They're like, if you directly send her the money, you'd have something, but it was third party, so I couldn't do it. But dude, I was just thinking about it today, and I've made like 40 grand since then. Like, but I still am like, yo, that's a loss. Like, it's still a loss.
Do you invest your money? Like, who taught you about money? How do you learn about money?
Nobody taught me about money. I had this one guy actually in Ohio, a mailman. He told me, he was like, yo, you gotta write down everything you spend. And then he was actually right. I saved up like 8 grand when I was doing that. But, you know, I'm not writing shit. I'm not investing in shit.
Let me ask you this then. Like, the city's going a little crazy right now. Like, do you think about the mayor? What do you think about Eric Adams? Does it bother you? You've been through a couple mayors.
Eric Adams, I think he's cool. I don't notice a difference. You know, I'm never here too. I'm traveling a lot, but I'd rather a mayor that just lets anything go down. You know, like I know nobody's coming to arrest me. Sometimes I'll steal from CVS. It's like, bro, come on. You think, dude, he's stealing from CVS. You think he's coming to arrest me? Hell no. It's like, yo, I'll buy him a drink. You know, hey man, I got a couple tickets. I got a warrant for my arrest. Nobody's coming to get you. Plus it's cool to watch all the fights in Times Square and see people get jumped now with the new mayor. It just makes the city, it's all around more entertaining. You could buy mushrooms at any bodega now.
That's
You
true.
couldn't do that with the last mayor.
Yeah.
That's how I judge a mayor. How much shit can we get away with in this city? And I gotta say, Adams is the best in that situation, you know?
So let me ask you this. There's a lot of inflation talk right now, inflation problems. It's like, do you know where it comes from? Have you had any problems with inflation? What's some stuff from the grocery store you won't buy, like eggs, anything like that is out of your price range now, or what's up with that?
I haven't had problems with inflation. Inflation affects people with money. If you don't have any money, you're not going to notice it. Like, I'm still living with 5 roommates. They're all alcoholics. My rent's not going up. The windows are busted out of my house. Like, you know, but shit, it's going to be cheap. Grocery store, Spam is always going to be $1.99. Ramen noodles. Now, if you eat organic, maybe you notice that, but, you know, bologna sandwiches, they can only charge you so much for that.
All right, what do you think about crypto? Did you ever get invested in that? Was it a scam? Like, were you big on that or anything like that?
I haven't got in it. I don't think it was an all-the-way scam because I met a couple people that made some money on it, so it had to be somewhat truthful. I wish I would have got in it. The thing that I felt was interesting about crypto was how people would just be straight out. It gave, like, the people that were, like, let's say, people that, I don't want to say they were losers or something, they just never really won in life. When crypto came around, now they had something to be like, hey, I'm better than you. You know, they'd inbox you, what's your prediction on the current market? And you'd be like, dude, I still don't want to be your friend. Like, why are you inboxing me? I don't care. You know, it's crazy that somebody could tell you how to make $1 million and you still don't want to hang out with them. It's like, yeah. How shitty of a person are you?
So you're not big on Wall Street or financial sector or anything like that at all?
I think Wall Street's done now. You know, I think it's all going social media. You know, these people, I don't know what's going on. 5 years, there probably won't be another Wall Street. But what do I know? But I hang out with a lot of influencers that are making so much money on social media.
You're an influencer right now.
I'm starting to, yeah.
Drop the app.
Dropped it. Dominic Leonelli, at Dominic Leonelli. Everything. I'm mostly Instagram. Yeah, it's just at Dominic Leonelli. And, dude, you see these influencers. I was just hanging with a dude. He just did a commercial for a chicken place, made 30 grand. It took him 5 hours. It's like, I don't know. You got to be, IT maybe is a big thing. I don't know if many people are on Wall Street like that, you know? Making, like, that's a lot of money. 30 grand and, like, dude made it in a few hours. That's insane.
So I've always said this about Dom. Dom's for sure the poorest person I know, which means also Dom is going to be the richest person I've ever met in my life. I've always believed in Dominic Leonelli's success. My question is, how much does Dominic Leonelli want? Does he want to be a millionaire, a billionaire? Do you think about these types of things? Like, how much do you want?
I don't even know if I could fathom how much when you talk millions and billions. I would like to fly under the radar. That's my thing. Like, if I can make enough money just to where people aren't going to pin murders on me or like people aren't, I don't want to get hepatitis shot up in my neck when I'm in my Hollywood Hills apartment because I made so much money and I made a tweet and said, yeah, it's all coming to an end, guys. Hide your money in the banks are made up. You get a little drunk, you start talking crazy. I don't want people in black hoods coming over and killing my family. Any amount of money that you could make right under that, right? I don't want to be one of these guys that gets like a network TV show, basically. I'd rather be more YouTube. Only a few people know about me, but they really love me. Because you go network, next thing the Illuminati got you saying stuff. And then before that, you're dead. Nobody knows why, family's cursed. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe like 900,000.
All right, we might not keep this part, but I want to ask you because I love asking Dom any question. He always makes me laugh. What do you think about the whole situation, Israel versus Palestine? I'm wondering what your thought process is on it.
Well, I just had to look up what Gaza meant. I didn't even know that was a place. I'll be honest with you. I had no clue what Gaza was. Like, I didn't know what that was about. I think it's just like these things that pop up to distract us. I know I sound like a conspiracy guy, but it's like, these wars are going on all the time. Now all of a sudden this happens, and it's so weird to pick a side with this stuff because, like, honestly, you know what I think about the Israel-Palestine time, and maybe you won't keep this, but it makes me realize how important timing is. With Israel and Palestine, made me really realize the importance of timing. Because if right now Kanye West made that tweet, he'd probably still be around. Matter of fact, people would probably be cheering for Ye. So
Facts.
He was three weeks too early on that.
About a year too early, but yeah. There's a time and a place for anti-Semitism, I think is what I'm kidding.
Yeah. No, but I don't really know anything about it. I think it's just, just trying to distract us to the next pandemic, keep it going.
All right, this is one of the last things. So do you have any more horror stories of? Because you got one where you told me you used to live in this place with this guy named Kenny, and you were like having to hide the landlord. Do you have any more stories like that about when you were struggling? Because we get a lot of people who talk about they're struggling, and I always think Dom has the best stories. Do you have any more?
I booked this big job, right? I went in way over my head. I had this construction boss that I met. He was a comic too, crackhead. He gave up comedy, but he would always binge on crack. But before that, he was a good construction worker, like when he was clean. And he grew up in New York, so he knew all these rich people. So we booked this contract, dude. This would have been huge, man. It was all the buildings. This is like 10 years ago. Yeah. And it's up in Harlem by the college, like Amsterdam and that area, Covent or whatever. It's like 131st. So this dude bought all these in 1980. And he got them for $1 a building, dude. Like the whole street, $1 a building. They're 5-floor townhouses. And he got them, went to go move in, and somebody was killed. Like multiple people were killed on that street, like every day. Like New York was crazy like that. He told me the story. He's like, bro, I was here within a few months, 10 people were killed on my street. So he's like, I had a family, I had a wife. We went to Long Island. I just let the building sit. And then he started remodeling them. So this dude had a contract for 10 of these 5-story buildings to have them done. He starts binging out on crack, right? The dude gives him $4,500. He disappears. The guy calls me out of being desperate. I'm like, yeah, I could do the work. I know nothing about construction. I go to Home Depot and find a few guys that know how to do it. And I'm like, look, I got this job. We'll split the money. And he's like, all right, bet. So I buy all this supplies. I pay these guys from Home Depot. And dude, we're talking like $12,000. I couldn't believe this dude gave me this much money, to be honest with you. And he gave me his card and I just bought everything. It was like 12 grand. And then I paid the worker too, like 500 up front. And anyways, the dude was racist. The worker was Mexican. Yeah. And he's like, yeah, I don't want that brown dude around my kids. He was the only dude that knew how to do the work. So I'm sneaking him in and out of the basement window. And I'm like, yeah, dude, he caught me. He's like, I told you, I don't want that dude around my family. So I'm like, all right. So I told him, I said, Max, man, you can't, I got to let you go, man. And I just, right before the job yesterday, I bought this dude a sandwich, and he was from another country, man. He was pretty broke. He didn't know New York sandwiches, how big they are.
Yeah.
So the day before he got fired, I bought him this big sandwich, and he couldn't believe it. He's like, oh, man, it's big. He's like, for me, I'm like, yeah, Max, this is for you. It was a hero. He never seen a hero sandwich like that. And he couldn't believe how big it was. So when I told him he was fired, he thought it was because of the sandwich. He thought because of the big sandwich. Yeah. So he's telling me I won't eat. And I'm like, no, Max, it's because you're Mexican. Like I'm trying to explain to him. And he couldn't understand it. I'm like, this guy doesn't like you because of who you are, Max. And it was the most awkward thing. And I had to leave. The dude called me for 1 year straight, for that 12 grand. He's like, you bought the wrong supplies. I didn't know what I was doing. I don't know Spanish. This dude was just pointing at shit. I was just buying it. I think he was just showing me stuff. So I bought all this shit that he couldn't even use. It was a big headache. I seen the dude on the street the other day. I had to physically run away from him like 2 months ago. I was like, I hope this dude doesn't recognize me. But that was the biggest nightmare. I worry about that guy still.
Max or the...
Nah, Max is cool. Max left New York. I mean, it wasn't my fault, Sometimes you'll just have that. But the other guy, I am always like, man, if I get advertised doing comedy, is this going to come back? But honestly, it's his karma for being racist,
Yeah, $12,000 fine for being racist. I'm with this. Actually, this should be the movement right here.
And that's cheap. Yeah. He got off easy, if you ask me,
Yeah, easy. You should be fined $1 for, every Mexican there is, actually. So that's millions. But Dom, we appreciate you always. Thanks, always man. The funniest dude. I'm telling you, Dominic Leonelli, huge star. There's nothing I can say.
Follow
him on Instagram.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you, my brother.
Thank you.